Welcome back. Our journey through the integer islands continues, where each island unlocks a new math skill. Last time we conquered comparing and ordering integers. If you missed out on this, the playlist link is in the description. Are you ready for the next adventure? By mastering these skills, you'll conquer real-life problems with ease, but tread carefully. Skipping lessons could mean staying stuck in maths confusion. The next island, we will learn the skill of adding and subtracting integers. And in this video, I'll detail two important keys that unlock this skill. Let's dive into it. Starting with the first key. How can subtracting a number actually make it bigger? And why does adding a negative number result in a smaller number? Let's find out how. In this segment, we'll be looking at adding and subtracting along a number line. We'll explore 4 different cases, starting with the first case. I know our question here is quite a simple calculation, but let's break down each part so we really know what it looks like on the number line. Remember, for all questions, the first number always tells you where you start on the number line. So in this case, 1. Then the operation is addition. Which way do we move for addition on the number line? Yes, we move right. Then the value 5 tells us that we move right 5 jumps, landing on 6. This is our first case. Adding a positive number, we move right. Next, let's look at 2 minus 6. The first number tells us where we start on the number line, in this case 2. Then the operation is subtraction. Tells us to move left, landing on negative 4. This is the second case. Subtracting a positive number, move left. Let's look at 2 new cases that may be less familiar. We read this question out as 4 plus negative 1. The first number tells us where we start on the number line. Then the operation is addition, so we turn to move right. However, it doesn't make sense to continue moving right, since this makes the question 4 plus 1, which is not our question. Ours is 4 plus negative 1, so we need to change something. In fact, the subtraction operation that makes us move left, the negative sign acts the same way. So going back to our example, we start at 4, we turn to the right because of the addition operation. However, we run into the negative sign, which then turns us left, moving us along 1 jump to the left, landing on 3. This is the third case. Adding a negative number, move left. Now looking at the final case. I know it looks scary, but let's take it slow. This reads out as negative 2 minus negative 5. Remember, even though a minus and a negative sign act the same way, they are still different. The subtraction operation, the minus, is a verb, which is an action word. And the negative sign is an adjective, which tells you something about the number. So to start this question, what does the first number tell us again? Yes, where we start on the number line, in this case negative 2. Now the operation is subtraction, telling us to move left. However, what comes next is the negative sign. So we need to change directions again, moving to the right 5 jumps, landing us on 3. This is the fourth case. Subtracting a negative number, we move right. Let's summarize this idea with the game. The game is simple. There are only 2 outcomes that you can choose. Either move up on the number line or move down on the number line. And we have 4 cases. Pause the video and see if you can match each with the correct outcome. Here are the results. Awesome. Now when you add and subtract integers, this is the crucial first step we need to get right, to know which direction we are moving on the number line. Now the second key. In this next segment, you'll discover an alternate way of thinking about adding and subtracting integers. This new perspective could be the breakthrough that deepens your understanding or finally makes everything click. Have you ever seen the movie Up? This movie perfectly resembles adding and subtracting integers. If you haven't seen the movie, a man travels around the world in his house. To be able to fly in the air, he performs actions to move up and down. The first is adding and subtracting balloons. Then he also adds and subtracts furniture. So think of balloons being positive numbers and think of furniture as negative numbers. Let me show you. The first he adds balloons. This is the same as adding a positive number. Both scenarios he moves up or to the right of the number line. The second is removing balloons, which is subtracting a positive number. Both scenarios he moves down or to the left of the number line. However, he can move up and down in another way. This was done by adding or removing the weight of furniture in his house. So the third action is adding weight to the house. This is the same as adding a negative number. This makes him move down or to the left. The fourth action is removing weight to the house. This is the same as subtracting a negative number. This makes him move up or to the right of the number line. You now know all the key information on this concept. However, can you solve all exam style questions? Watch this next video to master questions easily.